retirement of teachers in the government schools. We are not strongly demanding that it should be extended to 65 years because government school students are on the decrease. If we raise it to 65 years as age of retirement, that could impede on the promotion of existing staff. Now, there is a problem of the date of retirement. If we fix it at the day before their 60 years birthday, it could mean that they cannot complete the whole semester teaching. They might be required to stop midway. However, for subsidized schools, after their 60th birthday, they could still continue and finish the term. So that is useful for the students so that they do not have to adapt to a new teacher midway. And if you need to recruit a new teacher midway, there could be problems of recruitment. And the new teacher, to succeed a teacher midway, can also adversely impact on the teaching itself. So for the sake of teaching, we would like to have the retirement, near retirement teacher to be able to complete the term. So could this aspiration be considered? Extending the term of the retiring teachers, we are only asking for an extension until the term of the semester. Do you need to have a complicated procedure to allow this? Because if it's too complicated, teachers may not wish to apply. So we'd like to have a consistent or a normal, simple procedure to allow government school teachers to do so under the framework to complete the term. Thank you. Mr. Ip have gone into the essentials of our mechanism. He mentioned that in government schools, there are different groups and they face different situations. It is precisely that we cannot offer an option across the board. We are using a flexible tool so that the schools or the heads of departments to decide at what time and at what level these staff can remain for the extent of 5 years. And there is also an important point, that is to say the further employment. Now we have an arrangement of 90 days, and it will be now extended to 120 days. And this extension is precisely to meet the needs, for instance, essential operational needs, and in the condition that would not severely impede promotion, and will allow these staff to remain. As for the government schools, for 120 days extension will in many situations allow them to stay on until the end of the term. And in this under this new mechanism, the approval procedure will be more relaxed and good for the school.
Chairman, for the explanation. I understand the Secretary is well aware of the situation in the teaching rank.
Okay.
Well, this is also applicable to teachers. However, extending it to 120 days does not seem to solve a lot of problems. From 90 days to 120 days, there's only addition of 1 month. However, teachers are facing a problem. For instance, in the extreme case, if the teacher's birthday is in September or in October, and he has an extension of 120 days. That will be up to Christmas or the Chinese New Year. It's still midterm, and it cannot solve the problem of completing the whole of a teaching year. In the subsidized schools, they are proceeding from a teaching year. That is to say, the teacher can complete its retirement age. That is to say, in September, which means that from September onwards, he can complete the term and also go on until the term ends. So they can go on until the 30th of August following year. Now, I wonder if the government schools can have a special arrangement so that the extension days would not be only at 120 days, but up to not beyond a year. For instance, the birthday falls on the beginning of September. The teacher can go on until the end of the term. That will only be limited to the teaching staff. For instance, not the principal. So for the teaching staff, we can maybe extend them to the end of the semester to cater for the needs of the students. So perhaps that can be taken into account so that teachers can complete their term of service and also take into account the needs of the students. I'd like to revise my response. 120 days can allow teachers to solve some of the problems, but not all the problems. For the approval procedure will also be simplified so that the administrative procedure involved will be less of a burden. Beyond 120 days, that will fall into the matter of not beyond 5 years. If we are to retain some government teachers, the procedure or process involved should be longer. Now, Mr. Ip said that he mentioned a year. However, if it does not go beyond 5 years, we can still use this mechanism. The mechanism involved, the administrative burden should be smaller. And we also would like to try for government schools. There are perhaps something that can be done to allow us to understand the way forward for this mechanism. Mr. Yip, 120 days is a mechanism, and beyond 120 days, it is another mechanism. So for teachers under the 1 year, the two mechanisms involved should be simplified so that the service can be smoothly carried out.